Hey Joe. Joe. I'm supposed to be finishing my gift guide video and putting it up, but for some reason I just don't feel like it anymore. I'll put it up tomorrow. I just watched your video about Scout, Joe. I didn't wanna. I saw that thumbnail and I was like, there's no way. But it's kind of a for better or for worse thing between you and me, Joe. You put it up and I'll watch it. Sorry, I'm just plugging in my phone so it doesn't die on me. I feel this is important. I don't have advice for you, okay? I don't have advice, and I'm not gonna say, you got this, or, hopes and prayers or any of that. I mean, I've been in your spot. I know just how trite all that can be. I have one piece of quasi advice, and I have an anecdote because that's your best bud, man. Excuse me, I'm unwell. So I get the advice out of the way, and that's this: don't be embarrassed about crying over that dog. Ain't no one gonna judge you for it, and if someone will, they're not worth the time it takes to even have the conversation, okay? That's your best bud. That dog has been with you for a decade. Pets aren't just animals, that's your best friend. And he's leaving you. He doesn't want to, but that's what's happening. I've had dogs before. I've mostly had cats. I've had hamsters, but you don't have time to bond with a hamster, or a fish. Come on, sinuses. But the dogs, one we gave away so that it could live on a farm. The other one ended her days under the wheels of a Mercedes. It was very, very sudden. So I didn't have to deal with what you have to deal with right now on a dog. But I want to tell you about a cat I used to have. I used to have two cats, actually, at the same time. I had these two brothers. Same mother. Of course. And they were both great cats, but there was one, Taro, the black one. I called him little dude. Called him Tyrone sometimes because he had this real cool walk to him. But there was something about him, man, because a cat hater could walk in my house and within a couple of hours be absent-mindedly stroking Taro on their lap, He had that thing. He had that magic to him. Anyways, he was a great guy. I had him for 17 years. But that last year, he just sort of started shutting down on us a little bit. He was, the weight was dripping off him and stuff, and we took him to the vet. He cost us a lot of money at one point because when I was younger, I was working at Starbucks, and there was a knot on the end of the cables for our the strings for our what's the English word, tablier, aprons, and he ate the knot off of one of them once, and it blocked his intestine, so there was surgery. It was hundreds of dollars. So we thought, what's he done this time? Well, the thing is, this time he hadn't done anything. He was just sick, expensive sick. The missus was still new in her career, and I was freelancing, and it wasn't that great a year, so there wasn't enough stuff I could sell to pay for this. And it was, a permanent illness anyway. Excuse me. So we took Taro back home. to live out the rest of his time because I wanted him to die surrounded by his stuff, surrounded, in his home, where his comfort zone is. And I thought he would go pretty quickly, but he didn't. He just kept hanging on and dropping more weight and throwing up his food and like unhappy cat, sick. Until one day the missus just looked at me and said, "Man, it's time. It's way past time." So I wrapped him in a towel. I held him the way he liked. He liked to be held, like he liked to be on his back, like baby style, which is really weird for a cat. But I'd been doing it since like 2 days after he was born. In my lap, incidentally. He and his little siblings were born in my lap. I woke up to this goosh feeling right in my crotch. I was like, I've never pissed the bed in my life. And I looked down and I just saw his mother's, legs like this and babies falling out of her arse. Well, not her arse, but anyway. I'm like, oh, it's okay. The babies are being born. Got up. Anyways, so ever since then, he liked to be held like a baby. So I had him, and we went off to the vet. And laid him down. He didn't have enough strength to run. He hated going to the vet, man. He went as soon as we were in the vet on the table. He was like, "I'm out of here," but not this time. He didn't have the strength, so he just sort of lay down. And as the doctor prepped him and then gave him the injection to put him to sleep, I just sort of got down right in front of his face and I said, "You look at me. You just keep looking right in my eyes." And I just looked right into his eyes until they went dark. Because I wanted the last thing that he saw to be me. Because I loved him like that. And I regret the fact that we waited that long. Because he was not happy. He wasn't like, oh, there's something wrong with him, but he doesn't notice sick. He was wasting away. I'm not, by the way, I know how that comes off. That's not me telling you what to do. That's me just giving you a little look into my life, I guess. But man, I love that cat. And don't let anyone ever tell you that he was just a pet. Grief is real. These pets stick with us for years. You end up sometimes knowing your pet better than you know your family. So I have no advice to give you. I don't know what would extend Scout's life, but end in a good way. I have no knowledge for you. But what I do have is the last finger of this bottle that I've been saving for a special occasion. And I figure you and Scout are definitely worth the last of this bottle, which I will have to fly to Alberta to replace. Because you can't get it in Quebec. And also in light of the recent Scotch video you put up. So, in honor of you and Scout, I fundamentally wish the best for you and that dog, man. I'm thinking about you right now. That is a good Scotch. Be well, man. Be well.